I was going to give you advice on how to get a haircut for yourself. First of all, everybody's going to look like a Neanderthal man, we thought, but I've learned how to groom. I followed my cockatiel. You know, the birds groom themselves constantly. They're good for primping and looking clean and picking bugs out of their feathers. Well, that I'm working on. But you know, the fact of the matter is that my stylist, Gino Martelli from Buffalo, who traveled in the league of Paul Mitchell, who was a guy with Vidal Baboon, you know, I mean, all the big shots, a big shot. He used to do O.J. Simpson's hair when he was free, and also Jack Kemp, who was the congressman, if you recall, all the celebrities, anybody who was in Western New York at the time, you know, we were all being celebrated and having our hair fixed. So now Gino has taught me how to do this. So look at, I haven't had a haircut in 2 months, and I have hair. That's the other thing, and it's mine, and I'm not coloring it. How about that for a change? You know, what do you not know from Shinola? Yeah, that's what it looks like when you do that. But look at this. I mean, you know, see, Gino knows how to cut it. Now, this is not a commercial, but in a way it is. So if you have his home phone or his email, or you know who he is, look him up and ask Gino to give you an online lesson. He didn't even offer me that. I'm just, I'm actually offering his services without his permission. How generous of me. I'm a pimp. I mean, an agent. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about something here. I see where America is going to reopen. You know, we got to have a clearance sale. This is so American, or a garage sale, or a swap meet. You know, we got to just when we get everything together again, we've got to reopen with the same American spirit that we do with everything else. It's a sale. America's for sale. And we ought to have all these other countries bid on it. We can go on eBay and have them give us an offer, and they can take over the country. Why not? We don't need a president anyway. We got too many of those guys wanting to be president. What we need is to start running this place properly the way we want to do it. Oh, is that anarchism? They got a word for everything when they don't want you to have the job or to make their money. That's what is this politics that we're involved? How did we ever get into this? When I was a kid, I was playing records on the radio, and record companies came and they wanted to give me money to play the records and make Diana Ross a hit, for instance. You know, Motown called. They'll give me $1,000 a spin. Would you get this on the air because you're the #1 jock in the country? And I said, no, I'm going to play it anyway. I didn't want to take any money. I don't want anybody to own me. My father called me a schmuck. Yeah, that was the word that I was described with. Anyway, I didn't take any of the payoffs. But I see where the payola has shifted over to the government. It's called lobbying, where they actually pay for things to happen. I don't know, what's the difference between paying for a record to be played and paying for a drug to be marketed? Except we go through those procedures. And that Fucci, what's his name, the doctor that's on with he almost got fired by Trump the other day. He looks like one of the dwarfs, you know, but he's a smart dwarf. He should be, of the 7 dwarfs, he'd be Doc. And who would I be? I would be Sneezy, Dopey. Yeah, that's it. I'm Dopey. You wouldn't want Sneezy during this pandemic, that's for sure. He would get shot by Snow White. So do you hear the tweeting in the background? This is like Action Central for addicts, you know. And speaking of addicts, you know, I'm addicted to a lot of things. I'm addicted to freedom. I'm addicted to having nice weather. Who isn't, you know? And I'm addicted to shopping. I don't drink anymore. I don't drug anymore. I don't do a lot of the things that would prohibit me from being this age. The bird is attracted to me. It's time to molt. I'm going to sit here and molt. Now that would be a new one for TikTok, is to get on television and molt, and just have all of this come off of you, shedding a new skin for the spring like a snake that I am. All right, thank you. Tweet off. That's Little Bird. Heard of Big Bird? That's Little Bird. This ain't no Sesame Street here, I'll tell you that much. And it ain't Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but it is for sale. Maybe we could put this thing on The Price is Right. That would be okay, and just bring Bob Barker back and have him sell all the stuff that we got here. We got to start over, you know. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Nobody's going to just go out there and open the store and go back to where they were a few weeks ago. It ain't going to happen that way, I don't think. But we can have a sale. We can have a clearance, and we will be able to make all of our moves count. Oh yeah, and the homeschooling, I'll tell you what's big: playing hooky. Now I used to do that when we had the nuns in school. I used to call in as my mother to say that Joey's not going to make school today. He's having a cold. And the way I said it, I got screwed up. I said, Joey, this is Mrs. Pinto. Joey's not coming into school today because I have a cold. And so she said, is this Mrs. Pinto? You have a man's voice. Well, that's what prompted me to become a felon, an announcer, a drunk. I became a lot of things. And I'm all part of the reconstruction of the new normal. Let me just tell you something. Normal is a setting on a dryer. There ain't no normal. It's a Reynolds Rap. Follow me.